Hey everybody, this is Steve again from the Wolfpack. Um, yeah, I got online and went live because it looks like, and I hope somebody can tell me or listening to let me know what's going on with Texas News Studio. I guess I'm getting a couple of uh, posts, I guess, on there that there's something happening with hackers or something like that, and I just want to get the lowdown so I can actually help in any way that I can as far as keeping their broadcast out there. Once again, I'm in my Google Hangout as well. If if you want to give me a post over here, I don't know which one to go to Yahoo or Google Hangout. I don't know. That's why I don't have my picture up here because I ain't figured out how to do it yet. But yeah, I'd like to get some feedback. I am monitoring the room. I do that. I do that all the time. I monitor the room to get, like I said earlier about the station. I monitor to get news leads and do my own research, which I welcome a lot of individuals that listen to me. They are pretty much the same way. I like to do research, get upcoming news, and actually get the truth news, I guess, is the thing I'm talking about, um, which I would. Or I utilize as a reference a lot of sources, but I utilize as a reference anyway. Hey, like I said, confusion. My name's Steve. I go by Wolfpack, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's trying to be all important and everything." No, that's not it. What the problem with it is that you know what I go by Wolfpack because I got 4 German shepherds, and I'd like to think that I am a leader of the pack. However, they will differ. They will tell you something. I'm gonna get some shout outs here. Hey Sarah, how you doing? I got the message. I got you. So I, I was reading your, I did get your message or whatever. So anyway, I guess Sarah's leaving. I don't know, but I think that she does need some sleep. Um, so I'd hope she gets some sleep. She probably does need some. But I have other individuals that I go by too. But anyway, I got Sarah's message, and apparently I got to be careful because I'm talking to females too. So I guess maybe I hold across the line or something. I don't know, but I didn't mean to. Like I said yesterday, I like uh, I like to have some humor in my conversations or whatever. But let's get right to it right now. I don't have any information. I'm looking at the chat here, and what we're seeing is that I just want to know from Texas News Studio if it's an issue or there's something I can do to help. What do you need from me? What has transpired? I don't want to get nosy, but if there's anything that I can do, um, please let me know, and I'll do whatever I can. Uh, I wanted to go over some issues today, and I like um, the live chat because I got a lot of listens, and that's something maybe I need to pay attention to. A lot of people review my video even after it was um, put up, I guess, and I really kind of got a warm fuzzy feeling about that. So this is the reason why I'm going live a lot. The other reason why I go live is because the fact is that I am I don't type very well, and I'm not going to go into the reason why because the fact is that I'm tired of seeing people freaking roll their eyes and stuff when I mention the military service. So I'm not going to mention well. I guess I'm not going to mention it anymore. However, that I hate this Cortana thing. I don't know. Vamp just said hello to me. I said hello to you, girl. And but anyway, I don't mention military service anymore because of the fact that I get tired of people rolling their eyes, and just okay, whatever, and I personally am getting tired of dealing with them. So the fact is that like I said earlier or yesterday, is that because I'm tired of civilians who don't get it. Um, and I got more important to do than what civilians think about me. Because I really, just getting back, I really don't care, what you think of me. It's what that I stand for that matters, I guess. But the other issue I want to go into, and this is one of the main reasons why I want to go live today, is that I have kept my mouth shut on this. Kathy Griffin thing or whatever. I saw the photos, and I want to put this. I guess I should be politically correct. I guess, but I was going to have to. I might have to probably break that rule. But um, she showed. I guess everybody knows. She showed the picture of beheading Trump with the blood and the ketchup and all that or whatever. And I don't care what it was, ketchup, whatever the hell it was. It don't make no difference. We know what symbolism it was. Um, uh, what it's meant to say, and she made her statement, and then she come back and she says, "But because she's comedic, or she's comedian, and it was just made in a comedic type of way or whatever." Well, see, this is what I've been talking about, the First Amendment rights, and trust me, I'm all for them. I do believe in the First Amendment, and I do, but however, the fact is, I'm also aware that the um, uh, First Amendment has limitations, and that is up to debate what those limitations are. Now, I believe that this is a terrorist type of attack, even though no one got hurt. I believe that this is a direct message to the president, um, what her intentions are, or she thinks that's funny. And I'm sorry, but any individual who thinks that's funny, you're I don't know what to call you. I really don't know, and I probably shouldn't want to say anything, but uh, I'm going to because that's what I do. um, the issue that I'm having with that is that it's totally. Oh God, I can't even know. I don't even want to start, guys. This is totally. This goes beyond bad taste. This goes to the point to where you know what this is treason. Why she is still walking around not detained bothers me. Because the fact is that why it bothers me is the issue is that I can't believe that our our government or our law associations or whatever or the FBI allows us individuals to get away with this. Um, it's it's beyond me why she is not in jail. I'm typing some stuff here. I'm trying to get people in the room. I don't know what I'll do or not, but anyway, hey, I get to talk to myself, and I like it. I I have lots of words on this Kathy Griffin thing. So I'm just going to start. First of all, where I started with it is treason. I mean, um, you cannot portray, or he's the president of the United States, for God's sake. That's a threat, whether it's verbal or whether it's mental or if it's physical. You can't look at that and say that it's not a threat. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if anybody would look at that and say, well, it's kind of she wants to cut his head off. I don't know of anybody that would not agree with that. Because it is a threat, and it was a threat, and it should be construed as a threat. It should be treated as a threat to the president of the United States. Now, I want to know when did celebrities and when did celebrities get the right to actually break the law and get away with it? I don't know. We've got Madonna. And we've got Ashley Judd. I mean, we know what she said about bloody sheets and all that kind of crap. Um, and I mean, God, I mean, well, I get in trouble in a chat room because I use a cuss word. Well, where's the where's the sense? Where's the sense? That this is a serious issue. This is a serious crime. I mean, this is treason, for God's sakes. I mean, hell, we convicted what was his name? We convicted that other traitor back in the day. What was his name? I don't remember his name anyway. But anyway, I can't drown on my tongue. But anyway, we have choose people of for lesser crimes to be treason. I mean, I don't understand why that you can threaten to blow up the White House and that you can show a severed head and that you can actually cause or threaten physical pain to an individual, even though he is the president. It doesn't matter. You can't do that to anybody. That is, we have lost. Okay, we have lost, and that breaks one of them. Okay? A major one. And with that, where is our justice system? I mean, why aren't we? Why aren't we detaining her for what we saw on the TV? Not investigating her. There's nothing to investigate here. What's to investigate is the fact is that you know how long you had it up there. We don't have to. We don't have to investigate what your reasoning was. I mean, it's shown plain as day what your reasoning was. It's Trump beheaded. Okay, and you condone that because you posted it and people can see that. So that pretty much not only does it give you an aspect of where of what you're thinking, and also the matter that you know what, dude. I mean, you're taking it. Yes, you took it too far, but you know what? I'm sorry. There's some things you can do. Okay, it's like me going up to an individual and shooting him in the head. Okay, and then turning around and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that." Okay. You have to be responsible for your actions. So where did we fail in that? Um, I don't understand uh, the rationale of anybody that would condone this type of behavior. I know I say it all the time, but I apologize. It just bothers me. It just bothers me to the extent to where I mean, actually, literally speechless. I just can't believe that we haven't done anything, or she is actually. I think she should be held as an example. I think that she should be held as an example, and should be tried with the full extent of the law. I believe that she should be, and um, I guess go ahead, investigate it or whatever. I know it says in there you're innocent till proven guilty. Well, I don't know what else I don't know. I mean, if I would love to be a prosecuting attorney on this case because prove guilty, I just show a picture, and show a picture to the jury, and I'm like, let's get on with the next case. I mean, it's that it's that freaking obvious. Um, one of the other things she said, it's just, you know what? She says Trump ruined her. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of Trump being the fault for everything. Okay. He didn't participate in in cutting his own head off. I mean, he didn't participate in making a video. Um, what he did, he was just an innocent bystander here, and the issue is to have her come back and say she's sorry. Well, that don't cut it. Okay, I mean, I can name you about 100 people that are probably on death row right now that'll say, "I was sorry. I didn't mean to kill 13 people. I'm sorry." Well, that don't make it that don't make it you didn't do it. And I don't really care what your reasoning is or why you thought that was okay to do that. Um, sorry don't cut it, bro. And in this case, sorry doesn't cut it. Okay, by admitting that you went across the line, you know what? You should have thought about that. Matter of fact, if you look at the video, okay, when they were making this, they actually did a video on this, and she actually said, "Now here's her quote words on this video. What it said? It says, we're going to have to move. We're going to have to go to Mexico after this." She knew, and she even stated that she knew what kind of repercussions that it was going to have, and it was going to be negative, and that she knew what she was doing was wrong, and she admitted it before she even broadcasted it. So, that would be part of the investigation right now. I mean, that proves intent right there. I mean, I don't know if there's intent in it You know, a trial like this, I don't know, but she needs to pay. Um, I mean, Martha Stewart went to jail for fraud and making money out of the market, stock market and stuff. Well, okay, that's a pretty serious crime, but I mean, showing somebody that how do we know she didn't behead somebody? You know, how do we know that she's not practicing beheading? How do we know that what she might be doing this or planning to do this to other individuals? The proof is positive right there. You can't explain away the video. You can't explain away this picture. There is no way that you can take this picture and make anything good out of it. And the only thing when you look at this picture, you can actually look at it. And I challenge you because I know you guys are very intelligent and the whole 9 yards is that when you look at this picture, it's obvious that she had intent to. It wasn't comedic, okay? It wasn't a free speech issue because we have to draw the line in a free speech. Free speech does not cover you threatening to kill somebody. Okay, there are laws against that. Free speech does not cover you when you put up a graphic photo of killing someone or holding someone's dead body. Now, like she compared it to or the lawyer that she has compared it to the Flint case, with the pornography and everything. Well, um, even he had scruples. I mean, he didn't chop nobody's head off. He didn't show it on, have one of his models show it, or whatever. There's some laws you just don't freaking mess with, and this is one of them. I'm sorry, Benedict Arnold, that's his name. I've been trying to come up with that out of my mind, but I'm sorry, but there's no other way to determine this, and I'm going to be. I'm already pissed because she's already she's still out of jail. I mean, I can't buy them that. They say the Secret Service is investigating or whatever. I'm like, well, what the hell are you investigating? You got nothing to investigate. Unless you're investigating if she's done that crime before, or you're investigating where a motivation was, or whatever. That's all irrelevant. She committed a crime, and she needs to be in jail. Hell, if I was a judge, I wouldn't even let her have bond. You can't get out on bond. We don't know what you're going to do. Who else you going to cut? Who else you going to martyr and cut their heads off? I don't care who you are or whatever. That is against the freaking law. Okay, and I think everybody here is smart enough to realize that that was not meant as a comedic statement. It was not comedy. It was not anything that actors and entertainers and those sorts they shouldn't get away with it. I mean, because she's an actor and she's a comedian or whatever. No, it doesn't make any difference. There is a line. Okay. Now it's okay if you come out and you have things to say about the president, you have things to say about Congress or the officials. It's okay to come out and question the officials. It's okay to disagree with those officials. It's okay to get mad and angry and show your butt on YouTube and say whatever you want to. But it is not okay to show your enemy in a status like that. The other point I wanted to make is the son, Aaron. He got to see. He saw it on TV. And it bothered him. I mean, it's like, it's his father. I mean, to us, he's the president of the United States, but the fact is that that's his dad, man. How do you explain that to 11-year-old kid that they're just picking? They didn't mean it, Well, 11-year-old kids got enough sense, like, yeah, they did, she meant it. So there's a lot of questions there that she hasn't answered, and the way she's gone about it is she hired a high priced attorney, and now this high priced attorney is making excuses for her, and she's up there whining and crying and blowing her nose, whatever she's doing to make herself look pitiful, and saying and blaming all this that Trump ruined her. No, I'm sorry, lady, but you ruined yourself. Okay. You are responsible for your actions, okay? And when those actions cross the line, you need to be held accountable, fully accountable. Your name should not get you any privilege. Your name or your reputation should not get you out of any situation where you broke the law. Now, we've seen this go on over and over again. Okay. And the fact is, with Madonna, but we've seen this go on uh, with other. Um, I'm sorry, I'm trying to gather my thoughts too, but I'm trying to see if more people come on. Hey, if you're on there, if you listen to me, let me bring some people over here. Let's get some chat going on, whatever. But um, like I said, you were responsible for that, and why is it? And I think this is the question that most Americans want to have, or every red-blooded American that works for a living that's not elite, are asking, how in the hell can they get away with it when okay, if it was you, you'd already be in jail, okay, with no bail, okay, in isolation, Um, so why doesn't the same apply? Why don't the same laws apply to certain people? And we're starting to see this as a trend because when, or how much money, or what do you have to do to be above the law? How much money do you have to make? How many movies do you have to make? Um, how many people do you have to make to laugh for you to be able to break the law? Okay. And get away with something like this. When the normal everyday person, there's no way in hell we'd ever got away with this. We take Tiger Woods in the news right now. Well, yeah, um, he wasn't. Alcohol was not involved. Okay, all right. Well, the guy couldn't even stand up, so he's obviously impaired. Okay, what's going to happen? He's going to get off on probation. Okay, and he's going to go to some hospital, some resort somewhere, and say he's doing rehab to get off prescription drugs. And what did he do? Why is he any different from the rest of it? Because if you were driving impaired, I mean, they'll get you for, if you're 0.05, a cop can stop and say, you're driving impaired. They can actually haul your ass in on that. When their actual legal limit is 0.08, but hey, you're impaired driving. Why wasn't he arrested for impaired driving? Why wasn't he arrested? They don't have a case on drunk driving. I mean, any officer um, could not, they could say, yeah, I can't smell alcohol on him, do the deduction kind of thing is, I don't smell alcohol on him. I don't. I smell it. It's something else. I mean, why can't you think about he's on something else? I mean, right now they check everybody. They come to your car, and what they're doing is they'll stick their nose in your car, and it's like, dude, what are you doing? I smell it for marijuana or something. Okay, and you have to understand, people, that the thing about it is that what we forget is that cops are stopped you for one reason, and that's to arrest you. Okay, they get promoted, they get salary increases, they get awards for arresting people. Mind you, they don't get nothing if you're acquitted. Okay, they don't get. I mean, they still get credit for it, even though if you're acquitted, they still get credit for it, even if you're found guilty. It doesn't matter. They still get credit for it. So where do we draw the line as a society that when we're going to actually physically start enforcing our laws? We're good. We're good at making them up, man. I mean, we can make them up, but yeah, we can make them up. But they really no good if we don't enforce. I mean, if we're not enforcing the law, then why in the hell do we pass it? Because you know what? Well, hey, we passed this bill. You know, um, okay, you passed the bill, but it didn't do no good. I mean, ain't nobody following it anyway. So it's like, how serious really is it? Is it really a law, or really a law? You got to kind of look at this and with a grain of salt, and you got to say, okay, is this really a law? Is it really a law? Or is it just it's like what people say, are you born now or later? It's like, Which one is it? Is it really a law? If it's really a law, then gosh dang, why don't we enforce it? So, you know. Um, so my reasoning is this: is that at some point we're going to have to take a look at our scruples and our moral values or whatever. Because just because if you played in a movie that grossed over $15 million doesn't make you a good person. We're finding that out about our actors and everything right now. Um, and the thing about it is that what, too many times do we compare the actor, okay, with the actual person, and it's like, okay, that was a character in the movie. That's not him in real life. You know that, right? It's a character. Okay, they're playing a character. There's a script how they act. That's not really them. That's not how they feel in person. That's not the way they display themselves in person. It's an actor. Okay, that's why they're acting. Okay. Um, which brings us back to another point: is that um, why do they consider themselves being able to um, get away with stuff? Because they're an actor. I don't know, but I know it's got to stop. I know that everybody who is an American should be all held up to the same laws. I think that everybody, no matter what your status is or whatever, should be held accountable for any law that you break. But if you'll notice, this is a pattern, because the fact is that Hillary, Obama, Washerman Schultz, you can name. Um, and here's an update right here. I got you. Oh, it's from Ted Nugent. Said I didn't threaten anybody's life yet, and I mean that's what Ted Nugent said. I didn't, he said I went pretty far on Obama, but I didn't threaten their life. Um, and then he said it's never happened. Well, I don't know, but it goes back to the narrative. Is that what um, somebody, actor, whoever the heck you are, whatever, but somebody, this person thought that this some way was going to be funny, and this person thought that it was going to be um, something to get a laugh at. I don't understand that, and I definitely don't agree with it, because the fact is that she knew exactly what she was doing, and hey, you got time to pay the piper. You and I would, I mean, you and I would have to pay for this. I mean, you know what? We wouldn't get no probation. I can tell you that right now. Okay. I'm looking at right now. You're doing at least 5 years, 5 to 20, where you couldn't even think about pro till you're 20 years in. But I ain't the justice system, but I don't know. But I mean, she should do some jail time. And that'll keep her from cutting people's heads off and showing it on TV. What is this, a horror movie? Well, in a horror movie, you know what? You got to rate the horror movies to see if the kids can come or not, can go. You know, hell, I know kids sneak into them anyway. But I'm just saying, it's a horror movie. You got to be a certain age to get in. So in other words, they're warning you. There was no warning with this. There was no words come out said, please don't let your kids see this. There was no warning saying this might be difficult to watch or whatever. And in today's life, even at main shit media, they've got to come out and say, please avert your eyes if you're sensitive or your kids are watching. They even warn you before they show this. So what makes her any different? Why can't the rules apply to everybody? What makes you special to be able to break the law, okay, and get away with it? Now, I'm not just talking about Grifin. She just showed her butt and showed her ass to everybody in the whole gosh dang world and everything. You know what? Great. She's gone great to lose business. She said, well, that should happen. You were held accountable. Why you want to go see somebody going represent cutting the heads off of the president? I mean, why would you even condone, even think about spending a ticket on this individual? and she's not even that funny. And that just goes to prove, because the fact is she's not that funny, because the fact is, you know what, she has to revert to something like this to get attention. Okay. Now, getting attention, I understand. And how many of these celebrities do it? They break the law and they get caught and they get their head names in the headlines and stuff like that. And we all know that goes on. But the issue is how far will they go? I mean, you know, how far will we let them go? You know, I mean, they break the law and then they get all this buzz and all this stuff or whatever, and they got the media in their face 24 hours a 7 while this is going on, and then they get off on probation, or they get to go to a rehab center, which is actually like a club. Okay. So I don't understand the whole mentality behind it. I don't understand. I'm asking you guys, tell me what you think, because the fact is that, you know, this right here is nothing but treason. And I'm sorry, if anybody else sees it a different way, please let me know. I am at a loss on this one, and being at a loss on this just tells me that, you know what, there's a lot of people like me that are actually, how far, you know, how is this going to end? You know, I mean, how far can a artist go before somebody stops it? I mean, you know, are they going to be able to do mass killings and say, well, you know what, that was for art. I arranged them all after I killed them. I arranged them in a certain way that permits art. The toil and struggle of American life there in the middle of the day, you know, is the fact is, you know, I mean, where do we draw the line? When do we stand up for something? And that just goes back to the fact is that, you know what, we are not able right now as a community, or as individuals. Okay, we are not able to stand our ground. Um, I mean, we do not draw the line on people. We just assume that people have best um, intentions, and we assume that they don't mean it. You know, and this is to the point to where, you know what, we mean it. Okay, I mean, they mean it. They mean, I mean, they mean it. They meant to do it on purpose. Okay, and why can't our government understand that? I don't know. Please, somebody answer me like I'm a dumbass. I mean, I don't know. Okay, I really don't know, and I don't have the answer to that. I wish that I did, but I don't. Um, and like I said, I'm just asking questions from everybody. You know, what do you think about it? Because the fact is that we've got to get collective on this. And are we gonna allow that? Are we gonna allow this kind of behavior to happen or whatever? I want to say hi to one of my friends there, Mary Sunshine. I like her. Yeah, she's cool. She's a cool person, you know. And Susan, I give a shout out to her over here while I'm rambling on. But I want to give a shout out to those individuals I met in Texas News Studio, which I do promote. Um, what I do is I utilize Texas News Station for sources. I'm also in the chat room that you get some good ideas on the way other people are taking it, and then you get details that you didn't normally think of. So not only is it giving you the breaking news as it happens, you can actually go in there and you can actually comment on what you've been, or ask questions. You know, I mean, you ask questions. I don't know what happened. You know, and tell me what you think. You know, and I think that's a great platform. I like the fact is that they don't really talk on there, and that's not what their MO is. Their MO is to give you news, and you make your own, you do your own research on this. You do your research based on the information that's given to you, and also the other research that you're actually doing on your own. Which nowadays, I was listening to today on a talk news station, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it. It's here in Texas, and it's just something that I turned on. But he had a great point, and what he said was that now we're looking at it right now that social media is going to be the only way that we can get the true news. I believe that because not intentional, but unintentionally. Okay, I find it hard to watch the mainstream media. Okay, I do. I I don't need to have the news. Yeah, it's light to nowhere. I'm about to get some weather. Um, I don't need the news to explain it to me and tell me, what he meant, or I don't need the news to explain things to me like I'm a 3-year-old. Okay. And one other thing gets to me, I think I mentioned this before, is the fact is, you get somebody up there, somebody important supposedly, and they talk, and then all day long you have news panels come in because they're supposed to be an expert, okay, on something, and are a contributor. And well, who the heck are you? I mean, you know what? I mean, just because they call you something doesn't give you any credibility with me. I mean, and if I don't agree with you, well, you know what? That's okay. But I want to know who the hell I'm arguing about. If you're supposed to be some kind of expert, you know, uh, teach me something. Tell me something I don't know. Don't speculate. Tell me some facts. I want to know what the actual. Don't speculate because you know what? I don't want to speculate on anything. It's either black or white. I don't want no gray area. I want to know, is it true or is it not true? Okay. If you're not, just say it. I'm just speculating here. Okay, give the audience a chance to say, okay, he's speculating. He really don't know. Sounds interesting, but he really don't know. Can't confirm it. Give me something I can sink my teeth into and say, yeah, okay, now and you prove it where I go to and I can look it up and I can read it myself. I do not. Oh, and the fact that is that when I took that stance and whenever I started thinking in those terms, I haven't watched mainstream media. I mean, I'll go in there before I go to bed, and my wife will be watching it, and I'll just check up on the headlines. But I don't believe anything that mainstream media says anymore. I just can't because basically, you know what, they're not saying anything. you know, they're talking about stuff, and they're talking about um, issues that they haven't even researched. Some intern somewhere may have done this for you. You don't know who you're getting or what you're getting or what information or where the information came from. Hello, Mary, Susan, how y'all doing? I don't know if y'all listen or not, but anyway, maybe I'll listen back to this and then y'all I gave you a shout out. Um, um, so it's getting to where we have to pick where we actually get our news. And that's reliable news, and that's actually um, we have to do research on what's actually credible and what's not credible. And this is one of the things I like about Texas News Studio is because the fact is that they give you the information and they let you make the determination about it. Now, there are others in the chat room that come out and they've got their ideas of what it means, and they got their ideas. Another person's got their ideas of whatever. But anyway, you are able to get the information as it's happening on hand, so you can actually go through it and kind of weed out, I'll call it the bullshit. Because sometimes, I mean, the last couple of days with Manchester, I'm sorry, with Kabul and Manila, I started getting on. I started getting on live then because I couldn't believe some of the things I was seeing. Now, here's what I've noticed through my research, and I challenge anybody to do this. I don't know how to post videos or do videos or anything on my. I'm a dumb butt. I'm from California. I mean, I'm southern Texas. Okay, my wife's a smart one. She's from California, but I don't know how to do all the YouTube thing. I know how to talk on it, and I know if anybody's listening or not. But one thing I noticed on the videos, and just to give you some background, I'm not going to go say military again, but anyway, based on my experience, I've been able to. And sometimes I have been required to actually go through and look at the videos and kind of determine the situation to kind of determine what happened. And that's the way we learned not to do stupid shit again. So I can tell a lot by those photos. Now, the one thing I want everybody to look at, and I want everybody to um, pay really close attention, because there is a video out there, and where this situation happened is it was by the slot machines that were up against the wall. Okay, now off to the left of them, I'm assuming due to coming from reports, it was a pool table or some kind of gambling table. I can't make out what it was, but it reminded me of craps, but I'm not really sure if it was because I couldn't get a picture of it, whatever. But anywhere there was a table there. So the reports came out, or at final conclusion is that there was one individual that did all this damage. He ended up burning himself. Past recognition, so we don't know. We don't know who he was. We can never find that out. But going back to that video, when you start that video, you can definitely see there are two individuals that walk in there that are armed. There is one wearing a camo jacket with a hood. Okay. And the next one right behind him, standing in the lower left-hand corner, is an individual with a black hood and total black attire. And he has an automatic weapon. So we got two individuals there carrying weapons in this place, and neither one of them are cops. So how did we come out with the one? Did all this damage? Did one get away, or did one say it? You know, one just got burned up. I mean, I don't know. But the thing is, they come in, they say that there's only one gunman. There was one gunman in the case, and that was in the situation, and that was total bullshit. Hey, Kyle, if you don't like it here in Texas News Studio, man, I think, well, I'm doing a modro. I think you need to go on over and start watching Bugs Bunny or something. I don't know. But what we have here is incorrect reporting, and I'm wondering, maybe the same thing you're wondering right now. So how much have we watched is actually true? Or if I'm watching something, if I'm watching something, it's like I want to know, okay, that you have a source for it, you know, and that what you're telling me is actually true. Another thing that happens very often during these MSM newscasts or whatever, if you'll notice now, they're not covering live events, and I touched on this yesterday. They have a delay from the time that a terrorist or a attack happens or something something happens of anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. Usually Fox is in with a 45, and then CNN, they don't get their shit together for an hour. MSNBC, I don't even turn that on. I don't even turn that on. But anyway, they don't start reporting it till after an hour. Now, everybody says, well, it's censorship. Well, yeah, I agree. It's totally censorship. But what the fact is, what they're doing during that hour delay is, yes, they're gathering information, but who's ever censoring them are determining what they can and what they can't show, which is censorship. But also the fact is, the reason why they do it is because the fact is, you know what, they do not think, who's they, the government or somebody, they do not think that we can handle the truth. They don't think we can handle seeing these particular pictures. That it would cause riots, or it would cause, or whatever. This example, this was back in the Vietnam War, where they stopped journalists from actually filming up close as well. So yeah, they're calling, yeah, it's censorship. But there's a reason. There's also something that goes behind the censorship. This is the steps how they get there. Another thing too is like how YouTube. Now, you don't, and one of the reasons why I go live is because the fact is I don't see very many live events. I don't see many individuals out there that just sit down and talk and answer questions. I don't think that there is an actual talk show out there that's allowed to actually, I guess, actually to just get online and talk about issues as everybody wants to talk about the issues. So that's been shut down. Now it's being shut down, and there's a lot of reasons why you can say it's being shut down, but the general consensus is because of the fact that number one is that I don't know what's doing something in my computer. Hopefully I'm staying with you guys. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, YouTube is not allowing a lot of live stuff to happen nowadays because are now, and they weeded the process out. I can tell because some of the people that used to do live stuff are not doing live stuff, and then they're belly aching because the fact is they're not getting paid money from YouTube to post these videos. Uh, well, my thing is this: that, if you're relying on income from from YouTube to support your family um, or to actually um, make money, um, then there's something wrong with you. Okay. um, and the issue is that I think I changed. Okay, I changed videos. I don't know how I did. Anyway, I'll put the link up here again. But anyway, I'm actually on. If anybody, there's really not anybody being but a lot happens. That people get on like this and that. I think that's great. But um, where was I? Oh, so YouTube has. It is a definite difference. You can see that they're weeding out some of the content or some of the live streams that are out there. Um, and the reason why, and I'll be honest, because I've watched some of these streams, okay, and um, to be honest, I mean, anybody can get in, they got free speech or whatever, but I don't need to go on a website or listen to somebody talk about the Luciferians, all the time. I mean, I know the devil's real. I know he's out there, and I don't need you to start naming different names, Luciferians or whatever. I come up with a different. I don't know. There's people that, I know that there's bad people who don't believe in the Lord, and I know people believe in the Lord, so I don't call them or judge them on a certain name. I mean, I guess you got to have a certain criteria to be a devil worshiper, or you got to be a Luciferian. Either way, to me, it's both the same damn thing. So, or another guy that was crying the other day because he couldn't continue on his station because he wasn't getting money was this dumb guy. I called him out too, Dabu's 77. Normally, he used to have some good videos. I mean, he used to put out some stuff that he was actually live there. He stayed on top of current events, I would say. But lately, I mean, before he got his channel pulled, I mean, the guy was talking about Mount Vesuvius and the aliens and how the aliens were causing the earthquakes. And the earthquakes were in a direct proportion to where the sun was at, and it was lined with Venus, and then Mars went around it or something. And I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? First of all, I'll tell you this right now: if the aliens are here, okay, they don't want to have nothing to do with it. They gonna stay sitting back here eating popcorn, looking at it like we're HBO. We're entertainment to them. Like, we don't want to have nothing to do with them zip that fools. We just say wait till them die off. You know, it's entertainment for them. Because look how we look around and how we carry on and stuff. But they've got a lot of YouTube channels that are out there that go live or have messages, and it's not really about it whether YouTube believes it or not. It's not really about that. What it's about is the fact is it's the content. What are you actually putting out on my on my space? Okay. Even though you're responsible for the contact, I mean, does anybody want to listen to that? I mean, about Mount Vesuvius, I'm sure there are some people or whatever. Well, okay, that's great, but the fact is, the majority of people don't really care, and they don't probably even know where Mount Vesuvius is. And really, I don't care where Mount Vesuvius is. I don't like to hear a lot of conspiracy theories because the fact is that they never can. For conspiracy, they ain't been proved, so you ain't proved nothing to me yet. Prove something to me. Don't just speculate and say, well, what if this happened? What if that happened? Imagine this. No, I want to know what the hell happened. Okay. And if you don't know, don't come on here telling me that you do because you researched something from 1952 from a newspaper that's been out of business for 10 years, and they had a reporter who was drunk reporting on UFOs. How the hell do I know? I don't really want to know about a conspiracy theory. I mean, hell, we're still dealing with a 9/11 conspiracy theory. All I know is that the building went down and the Muslims claimed that they did it. So okay, that's all I need to know. I don't need to know all this, what bomb it was, or it was bombed, or it was rigged, or was it an explosion, or whatever. I can make up my own mind on that. Drinking me some tea here. But to be honest, it's like, you know what? I really don't care. The buildings went down. Muslims said they did it, so they're my enemy. Okay. So that's the reason why YouTube is down, or they're going through, and they're just, I guess, kind of cleaning the house on some of the videos that they've got going out. Um, and you look at it from YouTube standpoint, what they're doing is that they're weeding out the BS, so they can have a not only just a better rounded, but they can have uh, YouTubers that people listen to, or that they're interested in something or whatever, and not just speculating and not going off fake news and reporting those kind of things or whatever. People say that YouTube will ban you if you're talking about Muslims or whatever, or freaking Hodge or whatever. I don't know. I talk about them all the time, and the only thing I can tell them is I know that they're trying to kill me, so I'm gonna try to kill them back. I ain't promoting nobody to go over and help me kill them. I'm just gonna do it myself. As I think I said earlier, but I'll say it every day. I wage war on them. Some bitches. After this week, I done had enough. Uh, I've had enough of the Muslims blowing stuff up. I've had enough of the Muslims of us having to combat what we got to teach Sharia law in schools or not, or all that. And I'm done with all that. It's because the fact is that I know I got one Constitution, I got one Bible, and I got my wife, and between all three of those, they tell me what I'm supposed to do, not necessarily in that order. So, but then again, that's the feedback I get, because the fact is that, yeah, I mean, I'm an alpha male. There ain't nothing about me that you ain't never gonna catch me in no skinny jeans. You ain't never gonna catch me in no perfect shirt. Hell, you can be lucky if once or 2 years out of a year you catch me in a suit. Most of the time, if you catch me something dressed up, I'm dressed up in a new pair of jeans, a jacket I got on, pretty nice little jacket, and then got me a Navajo tie and a nice shirt. Took a bath, washed my hair, got on my newest pair of boots. That's about all you're gonna see me do. I'm used to it. I like it that way. I really don't live. I don't go around trying to prove by the way I dress who I am. I don't need clothes to tell you who I am. But like I said, alpha males they're getting to be extinct. And I just can't. I can't even go there with all that or whatever, because I can't see a man coming on and talking about how sensitive he is and stuff of that nature. And I'm not saying the guys are not sensitive or whatever, but you know what? You need to present yourself, because the fact is that women, no matter what they say or whatever, feminists or whatever, they all agree on one thing: they're happy with there's a man around to help them. With their security. If there's something bad goes wrong, or there's something, a situation, they want to know that there's a man around that can take care of it. They can try to take care of it or whatever, but they feel comfortable when there's a man around the situation, and they know that this individual can actually do something um, about the situation that they're currently having to be in, basically to protect them. And I don't know of any feminist today that during a crisis or whatever runs to the fire. I mean, I know a lot of veterans females that do, because I've been trained to. They run toward the incident. They don't, sit back and record it on their damn cell phones, or the recorder or everything like that. I mean, my feeling on that is that, what, damn, if you ain't out of the way. I mean, if you ain't putting a tourniquet on somebody, or you ain't treating them for shock, or you ain't helping them get where they need to go, or you ain't helping out the situation, you're standing around, get the hell out of the way. Let people know what they're doing, get in there. There's a good Samaritan law that says if you're trying to help somebody when they're injured and something happens and they die, you can't be convicted of that, because you're trying to help out. And I like it that way, because I want to know somebody that's there that's trying to help me. What you I find help, but you know what? If something bad happened to me, and I lost something in the leg, or a bullet in my leg, or something happens like that, I'd like to have somebody to talk to. You know, if they can't do nothing, just at least talk to me, or sit there and wave and get somebody over there to help me. Somebody there, so you ain't alone. Once you have been recognized, and there's other people besides you that are actually working on getting you to safety. Because in that situation, you ain't ready to do that. You don't even know what the hell you are half the time. But I know, I know how that feels. So you need to recognize that what that people um, say a lot of things, and they say and do a lot of things that if the actual situation actually come down to it, or I'll call it the nut cutting, that's whenever you're gonna who you are. And I don't see many feminists, like I said, that will run toward a battle, or run toward more to a conflict. I'm seeing less men that'll do that. I mean, during the what was that? It was during yeah, it was Manchester. I was watching video of that, and I can't count how many men were running like girls. They were running over women, they were running over kids, just running. To get the heck out of the way. Whatever happened to that women and children first shit, I guess that goes out too. But yeah, they were running over kids, running over wives, just to get to safety, their safety place. And the thing about it is, with the damn bomb, they didn't even know what was safe. They didn't know where they was going. But that's the thing, shame, is that a man is running in front of a woman and a kid to save his butt. And my way of being an alpha male is like, I make sure that whoever's around me, especially if it's a woman or a kid, I make sure that I'm doing the right thing, and I'm helping them. I may not be able to help everybody in around the unit, but you know what? Because a lot of women won't listen to me. Well, I don't want them. Okay, fine. I told my wife this. I said, you know what? I said, when I say go, I mean go. When I when I look at you a certain way, that means it's serious and you need to go. I don't need to hear no. Well, what about? I don't know. Get in the truck and let's go. We can think about that stuff, see what's happening when we get home. We'll turn on the CNN and get half the freaking story. But not now. I can get on here and go to Texas News Studio, and guess what? I'll get the news from somebody who's actually there. Not in every time do you get information that's solid and valid from the mainstream media. Okay. And I'll give you an example why, because the fact is that just out of my head, watch the body count whenever something happens. Okay. They're the first one to come and tell you, well, there's 80 wounded and there's 100 and something, 400. How do you freaking know? Do you have somebody on the ground there? And if you do, why ain't they reporting it? Where are you getting your numbers from? Is it a person that you got to report over that you're paying $500,000 a year to sit over in a hotel room and just go down and ask questions and say, what are y'all hearing? I ain't going over. No, I ain't going to go over and check it out. What are y'all hearing? What you? Or pay somebody to go over and say, hey, go see what they're saying. Come back and tell me. I'm going to write a story about it. Thing about Texas News Station, you got people that are actually there, or it's actually getting ready to happen there. And they're not on a video getting in the way. They're not in the video. What they're doing is that they're actually telling you right now is that, what, this is what's going on. They're not looking for the limelight, because they come out and say, because people say, well, I reported. Well, no, this is not what I got, but you might be wrong. Could be right, but you might be wrong. They report, and they report their sources. Well, I don't know, but the moderators can post links. When you're there, you can't post links, which I understand. But it's kind of hard to pass it on to other people or whatever. If you've got a link or something, that where you're getting news pretty accurate, then you want to share that link with everybody. But that's kind of hard. But I understand their point, and I understand why they do it, because they are actually trying to be, and then actually they are. They take themselves seriously, and they, even though it's not really that true, but they take themselves seriously because they want to be Um, they want to control, not censor, but control the news that they report on that comes in there, because the fact is that they don't want to have a lot of people in there with fake news coming in there and just spreading fake news. How we know that they don't do that? Well, because the fact is, you know what, there's same people there, okay, that put out information or whatever. And pretty much, you know what, people doing that weed themselves out, you know, the trolls stuff, they weed themselves out. Because the monitor, they'll do that. That's their job, I guess. But the fact is, you know, it helps everybody else that wants to actually report the news. Um, and in between time, you know, whenever nothing's happening, whatever, you go in there and talk to your friends or whatever. Like, and I'll just tell you right now, I mean, Miss Susan, yeah, Miss Mary, CC, Sarah, yeah, Gina, I like them, yeah. But I think maybe that they got a crush on me. You know, and I don't blame them. You know, I don't blame them at all. You know, because if you can't, I can't wait till tomorrow, girls, because I get better looking every day. I'm telling you. So if you don't like the way I look now, just wait 30 days and I'll get there for you. But no, I like them girls, and I don't mean any disrespect if I say something, whatever. And like I said yesterday, or I'll continue to say in my videos, you know, I got a good sense of humor, or I try to have a sense of humor. It's because the fact is, you know what, that's sense of humor is a way to deal with all this BS that's going on. I mean, you got to be able to laugh at some of this stuff. I have a tip here for you. And I hope people listen to it after or whatever. But I got a tip here for you, because I was having a hard time when I got back from Afghanistan, and I was having a hard time trying to fit in with civilians and back being in the country and stuff like that. It was frustrating me, and I had PTSD, which is adding on to that problem, whatever. That's frustrating me. Well, I went down to the DFW hall. I joined there, you know, because I can go down there and talk to a bunch of vets and, you know, kind of get myself back in line or whatever. And this one old boy told me, he was a Vietnam vet, and he told me, he said, you know what? He said, but you know what the secret of getting through life is? And I said, no. I said, I don't know. It's kind of like Curly in that one thing, you know, in that movie. And he said, and I said, well, what is it? And he said, well, he said, realizing that you know what, realizing that it won't matter because you're already dead. I said, whoa, that's kind of wrong. I said, no. He said, you know, to realize that you're already dead, and take a step back and get in to be a third party on the situation, and just take a look at America and Americans, and take a look at people. Instead of trying to be all, you know, all in getting amongst their money, just take a step back and look. So I did. So I'm at the meeting next week, and it was a whole different change, because you know what? I did that, and you people are funnier than hell. Okay, people are the funniest thing. If you can just move yourself in the situation and not get pissed, okay, or don't gossip about it, whatever, but just take yourself back, don't say nothing, just look at them. Watch people, okay? It's just better than HBO or Showtime or Cinemax. It's better than HBO, Showtime, and Cinemax when you got them all at the same time. It's funny, you know. It's funny going up there when you're sitting in their line and there's a person up there with the cashier, and they're arguing about 30 cents on the damn on 6-pack of freaking pinto bean. You know, and what's that argument? They get serious too. It's like they own them beans. You know, them beans, they went out there and picked them themselves and everything. Oh, you didn't do nothing. You just selling the beans, and she got a coupon. Well, the expiration date's wrong. Well, then dang it. You know what? Give her a break. Shit. I ain't like she's buying steak or something, you know, buying some damn beans, you know. Maybe if you give her 30, maybe if you get the 30 cents off, she can go buy her steak or some pork chops or something. I don't know. But like I said, I try to deal with a sense of humor, especially since I do that. I take a look back and just look at stuff and don't get mad at it anymore, because it's not any good, because you really can't change it. I mean, you can get angry at the government, you can get angry at everybody, but you know what? You can't really change it. That's what, you know, I kind of come to realization too. But then after a while, when I was looking at people, things like that, and I took a step back and I looked at what was going on, and I could realize that, you know, the type of people I was dealing with, well, it kind of made me want to go into action. I got like, what, this ain't right, and I can do something to help fix this or whatever. And I'm not saying I'm a superhero or nothing, but I did. I started. I was like, you know what? Let's start ground up. So I started get with our city council and our rules and regulations that are provided to us by the United States Constitution and the state of Texas. And I started calling on them when they weren't doing what they're supposed to do, and they didn't like me much at first, but I was telling the truth. And the fact is, I'm like a bunch of you guys out here do a lot of research. You know what? I copy down the link, and they say, "Well, where'd you get those numbers on there right here?" So I did a little research on that, and I did do. I do the city council meetings or whatever, but like I said, I ain't no Superman or no Batman or whatever. But I got a funny story for you. Hang on there, I got a funny story because when I was a kid, I used to play Batman. I used to love Batman. Now, I'm going up Southeast Texas. We didn't have no money to go buy me a Batman suit or nothing. But I was home every day after school, and I was sitting in front of the TV watching Batman. Trying to be like Batman. I'd get in there and I'd do all the power poos and all that kind of stuff. You Batman used to practice on my brother. So what I do is I didn't have no cape. So what I did was I just took a pillowcase and I tied it around my neck. And I used to go around the house, and whenever I put that pillowcase on there, I was Batman. I made everybody call me Batman. So I'd run around there, and one day I saw on there Batman go through a door. I mean, he just went, busted through a door. That was before Robin busted through a door to get the Joker. And I said, you know what? Batman can do it. I said, well, okay, now, I'm going to try that. Use my bat skills. When I put on my cape, went down there and got in front of the bedroom door. And I did it. I copied everything that Batman did, how he run, everything. And then I run into that darn door and I bounced back about 6 feet, I guess. And I think that's the first time I've ever been knocked out. But I realized right then I wasn't Batman. Wasn't nothing I was going to do that I wasn't going to be. I'm never going to be Batman. So I've learned that throughout my life. I mean, there ain't no more John Waynes, there ain't no more heroes, So that's just a story, because don't think that, and then but you can't do something, I mean, you may be Batman, you may run through hit the door and get knocked back 6 feet. But the thing about what I like is, get back up, get back up and learn something. So, what, I ain't Batman. I'd rather be Robin right now, But my point is that take a look at the world and what's around you, and look and see and watch people. And if you do that, I swear, if you can do that, it's hard to do sometimes, but without getting angry or upset or whatever, but just take a look at them and notice what they're doing. Okay. And when you notice what they're doing, some of it is so dang funny. I mean, some of the best times I've had is when I go to the Walmart. I mean, y'all know that too. I go to Walmart. I can just go hang out there, man. I go into Walmart. I'll buy me a soda. I just sit there on the bench and watch shit. Uh, because these people are funny. I mean, some of the stuff they do or whatever. I sat there and watched one old man one time walk around a darn Walmart and walked up each and every darn aisle, and finally, after about an hour, he finally found somebody. He said, "Hey," he said, "can you help me?" I guess I should have been nice, went over and helped him, whatever, but it was just too damn funny to do that. So that's just a couple of stories there that are funny or whatever. But yeah, try to do that. Try to take a step back, remove yourself from the situation, and just watch the behavior of the individuals that are around you. And not only will you learn things, not only will you just learn things, but what you'll do is the fact is that you'll start recognizing certain traits in people, and not that you would want to judge them, but I'm saying you would just start noticing things about people and the human nature and way humans act and out in public or out. And some of it's funnier than crap, man. I mean, you just sit back or whatever. And of course, I egg it on. I always egg it on. I'm like, I go by there and ask them. I said, you know what? I said, what? I just egg them on. I thought I saw it like an old man. I thought I saw it over there just to see him look. I guess it's me and me, but but like I said, I want to comment here on. I'm trying to get back to this Kathy Griffin thing or whatever, and I am just like I said before. I am in awe that she's not in jail right now. I'm so, I have so tried so hard to look at it from the outside looking in, and looking at, you know, fathom it from a third angle, whatever. And I'm sorry, I just can't find any. I can't find any reasoning for her to do that. I can't find anything that's funny about it. I can't find anything that is nothing but it's treason. I believe that it's honestly treason. Now, there's a lot of people that we got that are committing treason, and if you notice right now that there are certain people that you can't touch, no matter what law they break, no matter what they do, you can't touch them. I want to know where that line is. I mean, I want to know, do you have to make enough money, or who you got to know, those kind of things, 'cause I like to be up there too. But then again, I look at it too. No, I don't want to be like that, because you know what? I don't really respect people like that. I don't. And everybody calls it the elite, um, select few, whatever you want to call it. I just call it this is anybody that thinks they're better than me, or anybody that gets or is above the law and treats me like dirt, or my family like dirt, or talks down to anybody, or raises their nose to people because of the fact the status they're living in, just because it doesn't meet their standards. I don't like you automatically. I don't, and I'm gonna say something, and that's the difference between me and a lot of people, or whatever. I'll say something. And for those who don't know me, you will get to know me. The fact is you know what, like you can tell, I have a way of talking, and I love to talk. But I'll ask these people questions. I'm like, what do you do to you? You know. Or one of the base things I did was, because at the VA, what I did one time is I walked up there, and lady had one of them girls talking about, and she didn't really want to help me or whatever. So when I walked away, I just said, hey, you're having a bad day. Because I'm white. Is that what it is? Boy, I had security all over my butt and everything in 15, 20 minutes. I can't keep my mouth shut. And then what I did was, one time is I made this guy, I didn't make him mad on purpose, but anyway, there was a line. I was sitting by this line, and the guy in front of me, he went to farm. It was the lab line. He went, they got ordered his thing, and then he left and went whatever. So I went up there and I stepped up to the line. Some snowflake, some gun said, I didn't call you yet. I looked around. I said, well, there ain't nobody else. I said, you know what? I'm the next one in line. I said, what? He said, but I didn't call you yet. I said, okay. So he said, you need to take a step back until I call you. I said, well, I'm already here. I got to go back there. I'm already here. I'll wait till you get finished. But I haven't called you yet. I said, well, who's the next person you're going to call? The next person in line. I said, well, I was the next person in line. So I'm here. Showed up early. you know? Next thing I know, here comes the damn cops and everything. And the reason why I don't mess with the VA cops, because they're federal. You can get in federal trouble real quick. But he asked me what's going on. I said, I went up here. It was next. I came up line. He said that I hadn't called him yet. He looked at me, and the cop looked at me, and he goes, are you serious? He looked at me like, are you serious? I said, yeah, I ain't lying to you, man. He just shook his head. Made sure the situation was calm, and he shook his head. Walked off. But that's kind of people we deal with on a daily basis. And you know what? They're going to continue to act that way and get until, as long as they can get away with it. As long as they can treat you and say anything they want about you, or treat you in any way, and you allow it, and you do not say something back that everybody says, well, that offends me. But you know what? If that was the case, everything somebody says offends you. Okay. So if there's somebody though that's talking down to you, and there's somebody that's actually disrespecting you in a manner that makes you feel less than, say something to them. I don't appreciate that. Me, I'd be different. I'd say, you're full of bullshit. I'll say it again. But that's just me. But that's who I call the elite, and that's who I have a problem with, because the fact is it's shown today that you can actually hold a decapitated head of a United States president on social media or wherever the hell it showed up. It showed up everywhere now. But you can show it wherever you want to show it, and you know what? Nothing happens to you. Now, it ruined her career. They said, okay, they canceled a lot of shows she's in or whatever, but that's not the point. The point is, the fact is that you broke a law, and the law that you broke was in such a manner to where you need to be punished. You need to be taken off the streets, even if you think about that, let alone perform the act. I mean, if you are, that's sad to have to pull off an act to get attention. You don't need to be walking around among us, you know? They need to go put you up in a nervous hospital up there somewhere, and only let you out on Sundays, you know? So there's something that's crazy. Now you know cross line, now you damn crazy. So I'm trying to wrap my hands around this Catholic Griffin thing, and I know that some are gonna take it different ways or whatever. But like I said, I like to come out and I like to speak my mind, and I like to say the way I see it. Now, I'm not really that politically correct. I understand that. Something I got to work on, but the Lord ain't finished with me yet. Give me a chance. Um, but like I said, with that situation, I don't know. I don't know why she's able to walk around without being in jail, or at least being detained. If they're investigating her, great. Put her in a cell or put her in one of them rooms and interrogate her there. Okay, because right now she don't need to be around public for her own public safety. She don't even need to be around public. But I do. I want to put a shout out to Texas News Studio. Matter of fact, I pretty much dedicate. I mention them all the time, man. I can't speak enough for them because the fact is that I'm not trying to take their job. I'm not trying to, ride on their coattails or nothing like that. I'm just trying to let you guys know that it's a good source right now that you can get stuff live of current events that are going on, and you can share your feelings with it. Or the best thing about it is I like the individuals that are on there are on there for a reason to get news. I mean, they're there to get news, and one of the biggest things I like about it is that they're there and they share the news. Because I had a individual, I posted something in Huntington about the Kabul bombing on my Facebook, on the Facebook, the city's Facebook page, and I had a guy come back and tell me, he said, you know what, this is about Huntington. This is always supposed to be about Huntington. We don't need that crap here. Well, my response to this is, first of all, I'm like, you know what? Okay, is Huntington a part of Texas? I mean, okay, yeah, well, okay. So then I asked him, I said, well, is Huntington a part of the United States? And, yeah, they are. And I asked him, so well, this information may not be good for you. And you may want to turn your other cheek and not realize that it's going on. Okay, but there's some people out there that do. I mean, and the reason why I posted that is because I know people around here that have loved ones, kids, daughters that are serving in that region. And put it this way, if you had somebody serving in that region, you would want to know as much information as you could about that it happening, how it affects your loved ones. Are your loved ones okay? Are they safe? And that comes up in everybody's family, and that's a big deal to them. Because everything that's posted on a website or something is not, it's not just to get your opinion. Sometimes, like myself, and there's a lot of good people in Texas News Studio, they get the information out because the fact is they know that somebody may be able to use that information. On this website, I can't tell you the number of times after an incident happens that not only do they let you know that they'll find out what the local hospitals are or where the wounded are being taken. I can't tell you where they locate, where they don't locate triage areas or places where you can go to get help. They give you the current information from what they get out of the area, from the cops, from the EMS, and all this. And the reason why is because the fact is that because they got good hearts. I mean, first of all, everybody got a good heart to do that. What they realize what their scheme is in the big picture is the fact is that they can't do anything physically, but they can do something via the internet to help somebody else out. And it doesn't take much because you know what? If you get information to one person, okay, that utilizes your information, you help one person. That's more than you did this morning when you got up. So I don't really need you to tell me what I can and can't post until you know who all I'm broadcasting that to. If it don't apply to you, then if it don't apply, let it fly. Or maybe you can spread the word. But we all know this is the fact is that it's been proven over and over and over again is the first thing to go in any kind of situation is comma. You lose communications with people so fast because that cell phone you got right there you're looking at ain't gonna work because it's gonna be jammed. You're not gonna be able to text. There's no payphones around, okay? And all you're dealing with is word of mouth. Now, say, well, the internet's gonna go down too. Maybe, maybe not. But at least it's another avenue for you to try to get information. Like myself, I mean, I'm kind of overboard because the fact is I worked in a tactical operations center and I pretty much got my man cave set up where I can listen to music all over, because I want to know what's happening. I want to know what's going on around me. I got to be worried. Do I know anybody in that area? And I'm not talking about knowing somebody in the area where you can go and call and get information. I'm calling saying, are you okay first? What can you tell me about your situation? Is there a way I can help? Is there a way I know somebody down there that can help you? Is there a way that you need something, me to contact family members or whatever? And that's how this website can utilize and actually helps people out. Not only do they actually come out and report your news for you, up-to-date stuff, but you also get an opportunity to help. And that is what a good website does. I mean, and I don't think the Texas News Studio is ever going to be taken off the air by YouTube. I got word that they were kind of under attack. The hackers are kind of hitting them or whatever. And like I said, I posted in the room, and I say once again that anything that I can do to negate that or support any way that keep you guys on there, please let me know. I'll do what I can. I mean, I spread this name to everybody that I know because a lot of people that I know that are my friends like to do the same thing. They like to keep up on the news. We compare notes. We're each other's sources sometimes. And this just gives you an added source. It gives you an added source where you can verify information, or most of the time you can get it firsthand. I mean, you get these people Texas News Studio, they all doing research. It's not just you. It's not a couple people. All these people in the room are pretty much doing research and checking up on the research. And it kind of works like this. One person reports a story, and the next person looks it up and says, oh, what about this? And then it's a domino effect where everybody's pretty much got the gist of what's actually going on. I think websites like this is going to take the place of the individuals who were relying on actual live photo shoots from in the area, because the fact that people are realizing that these live shoots that are there in the area is the fact is that all of the information they get is speculation. I think they're realizing that these people can't be, where the action is all the time. Most of the time they keep running around from back and forth, and they never learn anything. And I can't tell you how many times I look at these people and they're out there, they're out there broadcasting, and all you see is the ground and their feet. They're trying to run around and everything. So I don't know. But what I do know is that I'm not happy about Kathy Grifin. I'm beyond not happy. I'm upset, but I'm actually taking Sarah's advice, and I'm not really going out and pissing somebody off from the female gender or whatever. I don't want to offend anybody, but once again, take it with a grain of salt, because I do, like I said, I do have a sense of humor, and I'm an alpha male. If you if you want something, you got something to say, you don't expect me not to say it back, or have some feelings about it. I also wanted to extend my feelers out, because it apparently that the information that we received out of Manila is not 100% correct. I caution you to go back and listen to the video or watch that video, because it's it's going to explain to you a lot of things that where there was a lot of stuff missed and not being reported. And I'll just go out and say it right now. Is the fact is that based on websites like Texas News Studio, I don't have to rely on mainstream media anymore. I don't have to rely on these individuals to make stuff up, or I don't have to rely on uh, these individuals who are not journalism. You know, they're more actors than they are journalists. You know, and upon people say that, you know, a lot of people wrote me back and said, you know what, well, what are your ideas on politics or whatever? Well, the fact of the matter is, you know what, I don't know. Okay, because I can't keep up with it. I mean, uh, and I think that's done on purpose, because the fact is, you know, it takes the attention away from a lot of stuff we should probably pay attention to. You know, I don't know how much more we can find out about Hillary before we put her in jail. I don't know what else can we do. Um, Obama, I don't know what else we can do to expose him in this ring. I think that he is well protected. I think that we will probably never know the extent of what Barack Obama did in his office. I don't think that we'll ever find out from the FBI standpoint, from Loretta Lynch, you know, she's a wrench. But anyway, I don't think we'll, from a standpoint that we'll ever find out her total role in this. Susan Rice, I don't think we're ever going to, and the reason why I don't really follow it that closely is because the fact is, first of all, I'm tired of hearing about it. You know, I mean, every dead burn day, there's something else, you know, that goes with it. And, you know, as the Russians, it's, you know, DNC or whoever, you know, but someday, every day is something. And I'm like, well, dang, we don't get to the point, you know, I mean, we can send, like I said yesterday, we can send satellites out. We can send people to the moon. We can deep space out there, but we can't figure out who in the hell is spying on who. Come on, man. I don't believe that. I believe that there's a lot they don't want us to find out. Now, does this involve the deep state or whatever? I don't know, because you know what, the deep state to me is, I don't know. Deep state to me is somebody that's in the government that I don't trust, and I don't know what the hell they're doing. And they're making a lot of money doing it. That'd be the first place I'd vote. But the issue is, the fact is that how much do we pay attention to the mainstream media and these stories? Like I said, because, you know, as we watch these mainstream, we got all these experts and all this other crap and everything, and I don't care if you're an expert or whatever. I mean, anybody can read a story and read into it and see whatever they get out of it. I don't need you to explain it to me. That's what makes our country great. We think, and we can critically think on our own, and I just hate to think that we're losing that ability to do so. I hate to think that we are a country to where we can allow a certain amount of few people get away with breaking our very foundation and getting away with it just because of their status. And that is the first step toward a place we really don't want to go. The rules should be the same for everybody, no matter what. You should not use your position, or you should not use your title to be able to act outside of the law. What that's called is that you're acting in the color of law, which basically means that you just can't go making shit up because you got an important position. You just can't go out and do whatever the hell you want to do if it breaks the law. I mean, and hide behind your status. That's acting in the color of law, and that is in the Constitution. It's actually in the Texas State Constitution in the whole 9 yards. So I think one reason why the people are being able, these elites are being able to get away with it, is because the fact is, I believe that we've gotten lazy. And what I mean by lazy, as a matter of fact, is that, you know what, we just assume what they're saying is true. Okay. And we just we run with whatever they're saying. They haven't proved anything, but they can say whatever they want to say, and there's no sources, there's no nothing or whatever. It's just your word. I mean, it's just their word out there, and you're supposed to believe them because they hold a position. Well, We've been apathetic to the point to where, you know what, they know they can do that because we don't hold them accountable. So my general consensus is that what I did, and I'm not saying you guys got to do it or whatever, but the suggestion, but what I did was, I got involved in city politics. I started calling, wrong from wrong. I was like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And unfortunately, what I see is that not a lot of people attend city council meetings. And the reason why is because it's actually targeted toward the city council. So you don't really have a say so. You're given maybe 5 minutes to speak on your point. Doesn't get heard. They've already made up their mind before you get out there. But how can we utilize it to our advantage? Well, we can actually go in there and take notes, which I do take notes. And you know what? Hey, post it out. I post it in your local newspaper. Post it to your local. Start a group and start posting about your group, about the violations that are taking place. Hold them accountable to somebody. Okay. And what you want to generate is you want to generate a group of people that hopefully grows, but you want to generate a group of people that start asking why, how come, who said so. I want to talk to them. I tell them, go let me meet they. Yeah. Well, because what? Well, we've always done it that way. Well, just because you've done something for 20 years, don't make it right. Show me in their writing where it says that. Well, it's not in writing. It's just an unwritten rule. Then bullshit. I ain't got to follow it. Just because it's the only way you're doing it. But the way you've been doing it may be wrong for 20 years. I don't know. Show it to me. And that's what we need to start doing is constructively criticize our constructively actually finding out what our government doing and making steps to change what is wrong. Now that doesn't mean going out and protesting and breaking windows and throwing M80s and throwing Coke bottles or throwing Molotov cocktails or going out taunting police or just taunting people that are actually just trying to go to work. They don't really care what you're protesting about. All they know is they got 15 minutes to get to work. Okay. Get them away. It happened in New York City. They were trying to block off a cross. I saw this video. They were trying to block off this crosswalk. And this girl, they all locked arm and everything. And then she kept just going forward and trying to bait in the people that were basically waiting to get through this crosswalk. And they couldn't because they were in the way. So finally, this old dude said, I got to go. So light turned red. He went over whatever. She started blocking him or whatever. And then she came a little closer and hit him. And she hit him with her hat, tip brim of her hat. And he knocked the crap out of her. Now, that goes back where you're never supposed to hit a girl. Well, I tell you this right now. If you want to be treated like a lady, then you act like a lady. If you want to be treated like a man, then act like a man. You're going to get your ass whooped just like a man would. Now, he did. And the reason why is the cops, he said, I need to get to work. Well, he told the guy, I need to get to work. Well, there was all these Antifa individuals around there. Well, he's hit a girl. He's whatever, Cops started smart. I said, well, maybe I would have hit her too. If I was late for work or I was going to work, and maybe I would have hit her too. So, question, ask why, ask how, be involved. One of the things that you do at Texas News Studio is the fact is that, you get current breaking news right then as it happens, and you can have people actually talk about it. And if you don't know exactly what's happening, you can go in there and ask, what does that mean? What's happening? 9 times out of 10, you'll get 3 or 4 people answering you, telling you, keeping you up to date, or giving you the information that they know of so far. Ask why. Ask what's going on. There are more people in there that are willing to help you and keep you up to date because they expect you to do the same thing. Something, a thunderstorm or something, a tornado outside your house or whatever. You know what? You're a pretty valuable piece of information there because you can tell what's going on right here. And tell them firsthand. My roof just blew up. My dog just chased a robber and bit him. So, like I said, my security level is pretty good. It's like, when I got 4 German Shepherds and I got 3 dead burn pistols, revolvers, and everybody says, "Well, I'm not for guns. I'm not. I don't like. I don't go do this gun control thing. I don't. You know, you don't need to have. No, I don't need to have all them weapons. But the weapons that I do have are replicas of antiques that were utilized in the Civil War, was utilized in a lot of wars from 1859 all the way up to, I'm sorry, yeah, 18. These are the type of weapons that I'm using right now. They're dated from 1840 all the way up to 1890. Now, people say, well, those are old black powder muskets and black powder pistols and everything like that. Right? Well, okay, that's fine, but I have a hobby that I keep up with and whatever. But I dang sure can tell you one thing, I can load them some guns pretty quick. And if I practice, I can actually have a weapon that is actually a danger. And it's not actually, I mean, it can protect me and mine. And that's what I'm about. Because what's that old boy say? I'd rather have a weapon, and not need it than to not have a weapon and need it. And this goes along with the issue that that I'm really taking the uh, the Muslim, especially the Muslim threat, especially during Ramadan here. I open carry, and you're like, well, how can you go open carry? How can you do that or whatever? Well, what I decided was that every law is different between states, counties, and you got to keep up on all of it because you make a mistake real easy and they hit you with gun charges or whatever. So I got to looking at that, and I don't hunt. I love to shoot. I learned that when I was in the military. Go ahead, roll your eyes again, but love to shoot, love going to the range. I love to. That's part of my being or whatever. Um, and I utilize that as a hobby. However, the fact is that I went black powder because if you look up the definition of a weapon, and that's in the United States and also any state that you're in, black powder dated before 1899, 1890, I believe, 1890. Anything that was a replica of any of those type of weapons before that time frame is considered an antique or curiosity type of device. So basically, I can carry that thing wherever I want to go. Now, I do use my discretion because I don't bring it to the concerts. I don't bring it to the city hall meetings. I don't. There's certain places I don't bring it, but or bring one of them. But and I don't like to show off that I've got the weapon or whatever. However, the fact is there has been a lot of conversations that have been started because what kind of weapon is that? I ain't never seen it. And the best way I can describe them is if you get a mental picture is the fact that they look like those all my all my revolvers look like those from Clint Eastwood. He uses all the time, and those are Navy Colts. So that's to give you an idea. So I have like three of those, and they work okay. And they're 44 caliber, so they work good. But that's me on arms because the fact is that, like I said, I would rather have one. I don't know what threat is out there. I can't determine that on a daily basis. I cannot predict the future on what's going to happen in my surroundings around me. I cannot rely on the police to act swiftly enough to protect me. And it's not anything about the cops, but what it is it's about the fact is that they've got to roll from a situation that they're in, or they may be on the other side of town or whatever. And that's valuable time that I could be using to protect myself. Like I said, that old saying, I don't call 911. Well, I don't call 911. I mean, I know when I can use. I know the rules. I know the rules of engagement, and I know what deadly force is. I've memorized it all to make sure that I'm doing the right thing. So, with that being said, with the people that are concerned about gun control and those items or whatever, I just have one point, and that point is that what. It is a right to carry weapons, and I do have an issue that the type of weapons that you can and you cannot have. But if you take California ways back and you look at that video, there were two individuals who came out of a bank, full body armor, and they were shooting AK-47s, and actually stronger than that. and they had the police pinned down. There was plenty of police there, but they didn't have the capability because they didn't have the weapons. They were pinned down by these individuals. And the only way that it came to a stop was the cops went to local gun shops and actually got weapons that they could actually fight back with. So it's not only just because I want to carry a weapon around or whatever, but I want to have some way to defend myself, and I want to have a way to choose the way I'll go out. I'm not going to just stand there while a Muslim just blows my head off. And I'm damn sure not going to let him hurt anybody else. Um, People tell me all the time, say, why do you wear, why you carry, because you'll be the first target. Well, you're damn right. That goes along with my oath that I took. Okay, I'm supposed to, I'm sorry, we take it serious, protect from all enemies, foreign and domestic. I'll be the first one to step up there and help you. You know, not because it's a macho thing or anything like that. It's just because the fact that it's the right thing to do. So luckily today we've gotten through. There's been no explosions yet. Okay. About 1,800 times my time here, and nothing blew up yet. So maybe we'll go one day here in Ramadan without it happening. But keep your head on swivel because it's going to happen. Like I said, before I get off here, I want to put a shout out. I don't know who's listening or whatever, but I'd like to put a shout out to Sayer. I'll say his name wrong when I know it. I know. And I think if I look at her picture correctly, I think that she's Asian. And I don't know if that's for sure, but I think that she's Asian. But anyway, she has some good things to say to me, and she also gets some good tips. What I can and can't do not to piss people off. But I'm good at it though, but we are now in Ramadan. Everybody knows that. So I want to give some shout out. Cece, see how you doing? Susan, Mary, how y'all doing? Miss Gina, yeah, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I know I owe you a foot rub. Cece, I don't know, because the fact that she got a little sass to her, and I like that. But you know what? You got to keep her in check. You got to kind of check her. She's a little firecracker, I can tell. But all these people that are in Texas and these studio that know me, and I get in there sometimes with just crack jokes, just to break up the tension, and make people just put themselves like with me, and just put themselves in a third party situation where you're actually looking at the situation and you don't get all involved so deep that you're not willing to accept other or being able to process all the information at one time. And that's what it's all about. Because right now, whether you want to believe it or not, we're changing. Our media is changing over to social media. We're having stations pop up that are actually doing the job that mainstream media should be doing. And I think that we're starting to realize that. Texas News Studio, sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down, but they have to have their mods need to get to sleep, and if there's no time that's going on or whatever, then they'll be they may be down or whatever, but you can go through other videos that they've had in the past to catch up with them on subjects. And the best part about it is that the fact is that you can watch the news in the chat room as it goes along, and you don't have somebody like me just running their mouth off and talking about it. You can actually see it being posted by individuals who are actually doing the research. So I highly recommend it. I always do. No, they're not paying me a dang thing. Nothing. I don't get nothing from them. I don't want nothing from them, because you know what? That would put bias on my part. I believe everybody on YouTube, if you're taking money, that you know what, you're gonna be leaning toward that level. You're gonna lean toward that person sending you money. I'm saying good things about them all the time. But no, I don't get no money for this. I'll never take a dollar from YouTube. I'll never take a dollar from anybody that sends me money or whatever. What I will, if you want to send money or whatever, I say, you know what, take that, whatever money you want to spend, and send it to, donate to something. Donate to feed the kids, donate to buy them shoes, take stuff down to the Salvation Army. Utilize that money where you actually do some good. And I try to do that in everything I do as well. So again, this is Wolfpack. I'm going to sign out. My name's Steve. Call me Wolfpack. I always say keep the powder dry, keep your dogs fed and good water on them, keep mama happy. Not necessarily in that order. However, you guys have a good evening, and I will talk to you soon. Hit me up. Let me know your comments, or just let me know your view. I love y'all.